Hi there, this is Dr. Saraswati from Avnashlingam Institute, Department of Resource Management. The topic for the day would be ergonomic factors in furniture design. This topic emphasizes on the need of application of ergonomic factor in developing the process of the products as a manner to make sure that the objects and the system will be adequate at the most to the user's characteristics and needs, contributing so far to the improvement in relation between the product and the user. So ergonomics and usability are discussed and the requirement level in which the rules are to be treated, as well the gap that is there in relation to the desirable approach in view of the respect to the user and to the environment will be discussed. Intention of providing scientific information about human variability and adaptability to the design process is described by two terminologies, namely ergonomics, also known as human factor, is a scientific discipline which is concerned with improving the productivity, health, safety and comfort of people, as well promoting effective interaction among people, technology and the environment in which both must operate. The next would be anthropometry. Anthropometrics provides the information of the body size and shape. As an article of furniture is hardly ever used by only one individual, most furniture must provide room for variation of a wide range of end users. Now, the purpose of the study would be like ergonomic furniture should be designed to facilitate task performance, minimize fatigue and injury by fitting equipment to the body size, strength and range of motion of the user. Now, what would be the design objective? It should enable the user to achieve the operational objective and possess a human-centered design. To enhance the human ability, second, to overcome the human limitation, and third would be foster user acceptance, as like you have questions to be answered like how will this furniture be used? It is used for the function, or you look into the function of that particular product. What size will you make it? It indicates the proportion. Who will use it? So that goes into the customization of the product. Where will it be placed is the location of that particular furniture. What should it look like? It indicates the style of the furniture. What visual impact should it have? Now, this is going to complement or contrast the surrounding the furniture, or in other words to put it, it was going to contrast or complement with the furniture that is going to be placed along with this particular furniture. Is it to be a focal piece or to be blended in with the surrounding? Now, should it enclose or showcase its content? So these would be the base questions. Now, we go into the next one is the ergonomic design guidelines. Now, design for a straightforward facing posture. The design should be for an upright posture. Keep the activity of the joints around the midpoints of the range of motion and keep the hands below the shoulder level, and allow the shorter person also to reach and the taller person also to fit into the furniture. Now, looking into the next, we have the furniture harmony and the human factor. Harmonious and aesthetically pleasing combination of furnitures are the result of selection process that may be partially intuitive but also ways of an understanding of styles, themes and pieces that have classic quality. Many people find selecting furniture as a bewildering task. Manufacturers have also made matched set or suits of furniture. For example, they produce bedroom set with dresses, nightstand, chest of drawers, headboard, armories and mirrors with matching details, wood and styling. Now, this is an easy solution for those who lack the confidence to choose, but as styling principles of design, harmony is made up of unity and variety. Next is function. The first consideration in selecting individual pieces of furniture and built-in fittings and fixtures for an environment and the task it will perform in the environment. It is important to be familiar with all of these functions so that the furniture and the fitting can be designed or selected to enhance the desired function. And the next would be the anthropometric and ergonomics in furniture. Anthropometry are human physical dimension which includes height, weight and volume. Ergonomics or biotechnology is the study of human relationship to the furniture and the products that fill our environment. The human form, its dimension and its need for movement are the basis of function and comfortable furniture design. The ideas of comfort and function are often linked to culture. The best example would be people in the parts of Asia and South America learn from childhood to sit on their haunches in squatting fashion. So regardless of the cultural influences, the best measure of function and comfort are human form. Ideally, furniture should be scaled to the average human. Most design is keyed to an average set of dimensions. These average measurements will not be optimum for everyone, but likely cause less inconvenience than would be the case if in furniture, sitting and fixture will be designed for every short and a tall. Now, personal environment can be custom designed to the dimension of extremely individual sizes, and where possible, this should be an important goal of the design. Next is the furniture type. Now, ergonomic super chairs. In any workstation, many people are seated. So, in order to be functional, seating must offer a sustained comfort. Consequently, researchers has led to the design of highly flexible seating pieces. The self-adjusting chairs designed to sustain and support the human form and to accommodate the body, which is constantly shifting and changing. The chairs can absorb the shock of sitting down and support the body in an upright position until the user decides to lean back. When reclining, the chair actually shifts to transfer the body weight from the buttocks to the back, legs and the thigh. The feet remain on the floor as the user tips back. The back of the chair flexes to provide constant support from the lumbar area. This result of sustained comfort, reduced physical strain and less muscle fatigue in lower back. The comfort is actually a boon to productivity and satisfaction. Custom design. Design projects includes needs and function that require specialized fitting and furniture that may not be available from the manufacturer. Such pieces can be designed and built to exact specification. Long padded bench against a wall proposed for seating with a series of tables is a good example which is seen in a restaurant. They are actually custom designed to built in for an exact set of size. They cannot be structured from a catalog. This design actually helps to institute a characteristic look for an exceptional set of requirements. Non-residential deliberations, the particular design necessitates the ergonomic challenge of opting for the furniture for a continually changing group of users whom the designer has never seen. Unlike the residential furniture, where the designer knows the user and can furnish to the individual body needs and types. In interiors, to profile of the typical or the target user can be fashioned from information which is being supplied by the patron. For example, intended users in a fine restaurant will be diverse from those in a sporting goods store or a pediatrician's office. The statistical similarities with respect to age, height, weight, physical condition and the special needs will fairly remain constant, though the individual patrons and employees will change. To satisfy the user, the goal of the designer would be to select an appropriate furnishing for the right height or the shape and the feel. An interest of the client governs the selection of the furniture from its ergonomic perspective rather than those by the users. In a fast food restaurant, airports and shopping malls, seating arrangements are to some extent uncomfortable. Always, non-residential interior and furniture tend to be less comfortable than the residential one. Hotel lobbies, restaurants and retail stores utilizes elaborate, attractive and even outrageous furniture to induce a memorable thought during their short visit of the target user. Durability. To camouflage dirt, scratches, smooth surfaces and light colors, designers actually use patterns and lightly textured surface and medium to dark colors. Material and finishes should provide space for thorough cleaning with detergents and solvent. Now, a drawer pull, cabinet handles and other operational parts should be chosen with the first time user in mind. If the method of operation is not evident at the first glance, some users will inevitably misuse the piece. Quality and construction methods are worth the investment. Many manufacturers describe their merchandise as suitable for both home and institutional setting, but the designer should evaluate it according to the plan for the use of accepting this generalization. Cabinets in non-residential interiors are often custom made. Even on a modest per unit budget, custom design may be an option if the project calls for enough units to create an economy of scale. The designer should read any warranties in advance to make sure that they cover the non-residential use. Furniture design standards. standards apply primarily to the relational design and in a more subjective way to the style and aesthetic qualities which are the elements of design. To perhaps Charles E. Mays, thoughts of design is the act of combining parts of selected material well proportioned to the piece and the use, forming a cohesive as a whole. Now coming into the parts, the combined parts, pieces, forms and shapes for use and the user in style, size and proportion that when brought together meet the defined functional, aesthetic and structural objective. Materials. The selected organic or the processed material should be suitable for the traditional design or take the medium to the limit in application and expression. Use. The intended can be actively functional to the task, such as sitting in relaxation while dining or at work or at a play, or visually functional in that its the only relationship with the user is reviewer admiration, appreciation and pleasure, providing a prominent object storage or display. The whole. It should be like the cohesive unit comprising parts fashioned from efficiently utilized and effective material which are pleasing, singularly assembled into a lasting union to satisfy the designer's objectives. Standards differ with culture and stature of the group, what that group may be accustomed to what is acceptable, fashionable and worthy of our purchase and deserving to be a part of our surrounding. Certain standards have been adopted for the furniture. Heights of a dining table, its accompanying chairs and the clearance between the table apron and the seated figure should be comfortable distance for dining, crossing legs or whatever else may go on under the table. The optimum height of a desk chair is a height that is comfortable at the seat level and it is a position to the relative to the computer keyboard and the typewriter and the writing surface. Now, the standards are reflected in the manufactured parts such as 27 inches Kirby roll or turned legs for a dining table height or an assortment of 12 inches of legs for a coffee table. Consider the environs. That's the compatibility of the furniture. Compatible furniture can be whatever pleases the individual's taste or design sense. Design a mass that is visually capable of fulfilling its task, whatever it is, a chest or chest, a library ladder or a buffet side or a bore. Its size and scale and style are a part of the design and each actually and collectively contributes to the design. At the outside, realize the need may arise to compromise the size selected for the user, that's the ergonomics, and the location, which is the environment. If Adobe is small bungalow or condominium, an upstairs flat or a studio apartment, the entire scale of furniture might be cranked down to a notch, not only to allow the maneuvering within the room it occupies, but also to achieve a better visual balance of the furniture with it is surrounding it. Style. The first pack of an idea style want to build. Now, it's a complement to the existing furnishing or the accent contemporary setting with a period piece. Setting is all contemporary and wants to go a bit off the wall, either harmonizing or contrasting with the surrounding. Design in mind, stage 2, period, contemporary, off the wall, in harmony with the surrounding, in contrast with the surrounding. Consider the role of a picture frame. It should complement, not compare with, the painting it surrounds it. Now, with respect to finishes, monochromatic color scheme might be effective in some setting and monotonous in others. Now, study the location. There is a ceiling in a dwelling which is of 8 feet off the floor, and odds are that more square footage is allocated to the living area than to the kitchen, and the master bedroom is very large other than the areas. Furniture scale remains about the same from room to room, but the quantity varies by the living area based on access, traffic pattern, activity and the room size. Be sure to consider that the wall openings and the window. Door or archway size differ with the purpose and the prominence of the room and style of the architect. Wall space is interrupted by the window or two. While these openings provide natural light and ventilation, they also represent prominent design elements with their own character and form to devour the usable wall space. Furniture heights and their relationship in a lineup with fairly standards of 32 inch into 80 or 32 into 84 doorway and a 3 into 4 window set 40 feet off the floor. Environs. Whether the furniture design will complement or contrast its setting, its new location could have some positive influence on the design. The other attributes include architectural style, colors, furniture style, texture, lighting, square footage, volume, heights, which includes the ceiling and the wainscot. Then the next would be windows, the windows quantity, area, sill heights and wall space. The functional factor. Design process includes asking if it will fit under a window or still be high enough use for its intended purpose. Moldings and window heights should arrive at optimal height. Aesthetic quality includes a piece pleasing in proportion and design detail with some relationship, whether in harmony or counter design with its surrounding. Furniture heights will vary by function and location. Living room, the coffee, occasional and end tables are typically low to be reached by the hunkered down or a cushy couch. Dining table height should be designed close to the expected height, suitable for comfortable dining, writing or game playing. In a great room or family room, anything goes casual. In a bedroom, the most prominent piece of furniture is obviously the bed. So its height should influence the design of the bedside tables, the side chairs, vanity, valet, armmirror or the blanket chest and all the other furnitures inside the same room. And a new head and a footboard should be designed to the height and proportion based on the bed height and the style of addition. For the home office, apply the same away from home office standard based on the industrial engineering studies on efficiency, fatigue and safety. A library table in the CEO's desk and the butcher's block table, the accounts receivable department. Now design the heights and proportions to meet the balance any of our dual use objectives. Now here comes the standard furniture heights by room, which is being provided by inches are given below. Now customize it for a target user. Leonardo Vinci drawing of human form are possibly the best known depiction of human proportion. The human form is an efficient machine but has limited movement in both range and motion, which vary by height and whether seated or standing. When designing a piece of furniture, start with a standard or average to adapt to the intended uses. Exceptions would be children's furniture, where scale is substantially reduced, or specialized furniture for the physically disadvantaged. For example, all standard height recommendation and position the keyboard at the height where the operator can type, or place the work surface at the height where the artist or the sculptor can work. This presents a whole set of design problems, but the solutions are most rewarding. When designing the piece for a target range, remember that very tall people adjust to the subscale furnishing, or a shorter than the average people get accustomed to the upsize furniture. So furniture for women is actually built for the majority, who range between the height of 5 feet 2 to 5'8" inches and to 6.2 feet height. So this is actually for unisex furnitures, and the average is used for 5 feet to 8 inches range. The custom furniture builders have a unique advantage in making the piece truly custom tailored to the user's stature. But when designing on the mass, one size fits all, the design approach must be taken to accommodate 90% of the population. The role of furniture designers would be in trying to accommodate the range of size, shapes and length for different target population. Now we have the measurement data for completing the range of stature, which includes eye level standing seated, now mid shoulder height seated erect, shoulder breadth, elbow to elbow breadth, hip breadth, waist height, elbow rest height, thigh clearance, knee height, buttock to knee length, buttock to length and buttock heel length, vertical reaching height, vertical grip reach, side arm reach and maximum body depth and breadth. Weight by height. Furniture design may place on the user's motions. Body's capacity to function in a cramped or awkward quarters is boundless. Duplicating the action of extending, rotating, grasping, lifting and carrying requires masterfully engineering hinges, pins, balls and sockets driven by hydraulic and mechanical muscles activated by the electrical power and controlled by the program motor sensors. Now the physiological function of the upper body, specifically the opposable thumb, dexterous fingers, articulating wrist, tensional rotating forearm, bendable elbow, movable shoulder, rotating torso and the articulating spine, the whole should also be considered. according to Webster, who says proportion is the relation of one part to the other or to the whole with respect to the magnitude, quantity or degree ratio. Furniture design with aesthetic, proportion and symmetry should be considered. The height to width to depth ratio of the furniture is a prime factor which forms a design proportion. The proportion of few furnitures are: for a coffee table it is 1:3:2, for an armchair it is 3:2:1, a dining table is 2:4:3, a curio cabinet 2:1:1, and an end table would be 1:2:1. Office furnishing have adjustable components that enable the user to modify the workstation to accommodate different physical dimension and the requirements of the job. Ergonomically designed furniture can therefore reduce pain and injury, increase productivity, improve the morale and decrease the complaints. We look into the individual part of the furniture. First one would be the seat height, which should be enabling the user to place his feet comfortably on the floor, or it should at least have a proper footrest. The seat depth should be deep enough so that the region behind the knees, also referred to as the popliteal area, is not hitting the front of the seat. Two ways can prevent this. The popliteal contacts are fixing the overlap depth of the chair or creating the adjustment. Now, altering the seat depth on the chair should be a normal action that it does not strain the user. Unraveling the armrest for the movable seat can permit the armrest to be used as a leverage for easily shifting the seat depth while seated. The controls for the seat depth movement should be spontaneous and should be easy to use, should not require unwarranted bending to reach them. For example, seat modification control like those seen in automobiles could help to accomplish this in simplicity. Seat width. The seat should be wide enough to have a room for users' hip and clothing and also allow to use the armrest at ease. Backrest. The contour of the person's spine should be conformed to the seat back as well provide support to the back. It lessens the stress on the back muscles while seated. Generally, it should be high enough to reach the shoulder blades, wide enough to support the waist breadth, and also have a lumbar support to maintain the natural lordic curvature of the lumbar spine. Chair range motion. The seat and the backrest should permit for different seated postures. This will be made possible by allowing a rearward tilt of the back. A minimum of 10-degree rearward tilt, that is between 90 degrees to 115 degrees, is optimum. Some chairs also permit the seat to tilt at the same time. The only guideline for seat tilt measurement is to make certain that the torso to thigh angle is not less than 90 degrees and that the seat angle is between 0 to 4 degree rearward tilt. Armrest helps you alleviate neck, shoulder and back stress. Armrest can also offer good surface area for the arm to contact so that the pressure between an arm and armrest is lessened. The armrest should be in such a way that it is adjustable up and down as well in and out. This allows for more customization and better control of comfort. Chair controls. The controls are important, but the fewer and the more intuitive they are, the better it can be for the user. A round knob usually means that it should be turned. A flat lever usually means it should be pulled or pushed. Some controls are also easier for the individual with disabilities to use than the others. Graphic icons could be placed on the control to show the user how to operate each lever or device. Images rather than text for instructions can prevent the need to translate instruction when the selling products in different countries. In addition, it can be a quicker and an easier way to communicate. The tension in the control should allow for minimal user effort to activate them. The control should also be easy to reach and visible to the user. Here we present the measurements and the guidelines for the seated work. Here we present the measurements and the guidelines for the standing work. I wish to conclude, considering the industrial production of today, it's impossible to conceive the production idea without ergonomics and norms application in view of the need of establishment standards in production in a way or as a way to maintain the fitness and optimize the gain results, guaranteeing the product's quality and functionability. However, current market Competitiveness demands a higher development of differentials. Ergonomic comes as a value to be explored and would also add efforts to the guarantee accessibility rights. Then, furniture design associated to technical norms and ergonomics collaborates to the relations of these products' usability through the manufacturer, optimization, and to the product usage facility. Related to the environment, application of ergonomic and technical factors help to reduce the waste and increase the product's life cycle. Thank you.